Essentially, I graduated uni when I was about 21 years old. I came back to Malaysia and I told my mom that I wanted to chill out. So I said I'll take a 3-month break. And then my mom told me, go get a job. So I did a couple of interviews. I went to an audio studio for sound engineering, for example. And then I also came to AirAsia because there was an opening for a PR position. I know, right? PR. I was offered a brand role instead. I did that interview. I came to the interview with like slacks, a button-down shirt, a floral tie. I took out my earrings, my hair was neat. I came into the office and I was very, very surprised because everyone else were in jeans. And I thought, oh, okay, this is cool because I never really wanted a 9-to-6 corporate job. And when I came to AirAsia and did the interview, I found it very, very much similar to the kind of attitude I have and the same personality that I have. And here I am, X number of years later, 14, I believe. So you can say I spent my entire adulthood here in AirAsia. So honestly speaking, I had no idea who Tony was. And then one day, I saw this guy walking in with a big Hugo Boss t-shirt that didn't really fit him very well, if I remember correctly. And my colleague just said, oh, that's the boss. And I was like, oh, that's Tony Fernandez? But then that kind of changed my perception of the company itself because then I saw how humble he was as a boss, how nice he was, how friendly he was with everyone. He made sure that he made it a point to kind of recognize everybody, remember their names and their faces. If he doesn't recognize you, he'll just ask you if you've cut your hair or something. But yeah, that was my first impression of Tony. The first ad that I ever did, I think, was an express boarding ad. So back in the day, I sound so old, in 2007, I believe, AirAsia still ran boarding with no specific seats. Meaning, the first person who got into the flight, whichever seat you get, is yours, right? First come, first serve. I think my second ad was probably a Skytrax campaign, if I remember correctly, when we won like Asia's best low-cost carrier or something along those lines. I remember that being a very proud moment for everyone in the company, and it was nice that I was there for the first time we won an award like that. Another ad I can think of is something that we did internally. We had no video teams. We didn't really have an editing team or anything. So I think what we ended up doing was we wanted to promote free seats on social media, and I just ended up being the free seat boy.
Free seats? Free seats.
And we shot that whole thing on, I think, a really, really dodgy digital camera at that time. Probably shot in like 3.5 megapixels or something, and then we edited it on my MacBook on iMovie. Many things make AirAsia bold, but one of them would definitely be our advertising work. For example, I'll show you one, which was a series of, I think, 2 or 3 ads. This was when our friends at Tiger Air had issues taking off. So we decided to have some fun in Singapore. And we ran this campaign. One of the first visuals said, if tigers were meant to fly, they would be born with wings. An interesting fact behind this is that I didn't write this line, the creative team didn't write this line. Our head of revenue at that time, Seamus, he wrote this line. And when he said it, I remember our head of commercial, Kathleen Tan, at the time was like, stop, that's perfect. And then we immediately turned that into an ad. Which is the amazing thing about AirAsia here. Ideas can happen at any time, anywhere, from anyone, and we'll just make it happen, right? Dare to dream has always been something that Tony loves to say. And I think a fair bit of the AirAsia brand personality actually borrows from Tony as a person, right? He always says things like, dream the impossible, believe the unbelievable, and never take no for an answer. As a brand, we believe in people, we believe in talents, we're champions of the ASEAN region, and we always support people to tell them to chase their dreams, to go and do what they want to do and try to make things happen. So this is something that I came up with maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We always had that direction of dare to dream, so on and so forth, right? Which was a brand spirit, but the one thing that was missing at that time was the things we were doing it for, and why people were dreaming, why people were doing what they did. And we essentially landed on this, which I refer to as the 3 Ps of AirAsia. A lot of people have always asked me why I've been here for such a long time. Especially this is my first and only job till date. A lot of people ask me, like, why are you still at AirAsia? You know, you could have gone somewhere else or whatnot. And I always tell them, like, one of the main reasons why I've been here for so long is because of the people that I meet, the people that I work with, and the friends that I've made. I've got a lot of friends who might have left AirAsia already, ex-colleagues, ex-Allstars, but even some of them were kind of like best men at my wedding and so on. So I've made a lot of good friends here, and I think it's truly a people company in that sense, and that's one of the main reasons I've stayed. Simply because of everything we've been talking about this whole time, right? From Dare to Dream to People, Places and Passion, AirAsia as a brand has always had that never give up attitude, that challenger spirit. And just look at everything that's happened to us. I mean, some of the first things that Tony used to talk about were like bird flu and SARS. You know, that never stopped us from making sure the airline still succeeded. COVID in the past 2 years, that's never stopped us from trying to do more things and bringing the brand to the people and connecting with consumers. So I think truly in terms of who we are as a brand, right? And even the people that work in the company, us Allstars, everyone really never stops at trying to make things happen. I think that's an amazing spirit that we have here, regardless of whatever it is that we're faced with. So 20 years, never stop. I think my journey in AirAsia has really been about going with the flow. I've learned so much here just from the way we've changed things, the way we've pivoted, the people I've worked with, the problems we've faced and then overcome. Yeah, I think going with the flow is a really good representation of me in this company, and this skateboard is a perfect symbol of it. I wish that you're going to be able to endure my everlasting presence here for the next however many years. Happy birthday.